Hi Aquarius, welcome to the Animals Magic Shop. I'm Lisa with your weekly animal spirit message for January 30th through February 6th, 2023. And this is a one-card reading, but you may receive multiple messages from that single animal. Okay, Aquarius, let's get started. Animal spirits and guides, what would you like Aquarius to know this week? This is for Aquarius, please. Okay, Aquarius, you have boar, and the first message I'm getting from this animal for some of you is to, boar is the teacher of confrontation, and that can mean, first of all, confronting anything within yourself that you would like to change. So that could be any shortcomings you may have, or any habits that you'd like to change, or any new habits that you'd like to make. But mostly it's about kind of discarding the things that don't serve you, taking a look at things that you may be doing that aren't in your best interest, habits that you may have that may be setting you back in some way. So boar is saying for some of you to take a really good look at yourself and own up to the things that you may be doing, that you may be kidding yourself that are okay, but they really aren't, and deep down in your heart that they don't serve you well, Aquarius. So, and like I said, this isn't for everybody. This is just for some of you, but I think probably in general, generally speaking, it's not a bad idea to periodically kind of take a review of our life and our behaviors and our thought processes, and kind of chop away anything that isn't really doing us a lot of good, and isn't, improving us or moving us forward. So that's one thing, Aquarius. One message for you is to kind of do a review of yourself, and try to do it from the point of view, kind of a detached point of view rather than an emotional point of view, okay? Now, another message I'm getting for others of you is to confront any situation or any person who is bothering you or causing you problems or anxiety, or to feel less than, anybody who's kind of bullying you, or, as a rule, I don't think that Aquarians enjoy confrontation and are pretty easygoing and pretty forgiving to people in general. A lot is excused or overlooked with the attitude of live and let live. So, but this week, boar is asking you to confront anything that's dragging you down. Okay, we'll put it that way. Anything or anyone that's dragging you down, and pretty much cut it out. I'm getting cut it out of your life. The boar has tusks and they're sharp, and that's the way Boar, in this instance, in this card, approaches problems. He kind of cuts them out with a knife, so to speak, so does like emergency, do emergency surgery on your issues and people who don't belong in your life. Okay, just for some of you Aquarians, if somebody is causing you a lot of trouble, then Boris is suggesting that this is a good week to just cut them out of your life. You've probably given them many, many chances, and you've probably forgiven this person or these people many, many times already, and this is the week to just walk away from whatever person or whatever situation is not working in your favor. Okay, now another message I'm getting for others of you is, and this is going both ways, some of you may benefit from adding more fat to your diet. And I know a lot of people think that fat isn't good for you, but there are healthy fats. And then there's also bacon fat, which is the animal that Boar is. He's a pig and he's bacon. So for some of you Aquarians, just for this week, you might benefit from adding a little bit of bacon to your diet. And for others of you, you may want to decrease the fat in your diet and avoid bacon in particular, or pork products in particular. Personally, I don't eat a lot of pork because I really don't like the way the animals are treated. They're a smelly animal when they're kept in confinement. When they're in the wild, they're not. But when kept in confinement, they are not the most pleasant animal to take care of, and they tend to be abused a lot. So I try to avoid pork, but there are different farms who are more ethical and animal friendly. And if you look in your supermarket meat cases for bacon, they may have different seals on them saying that they are approved by the Animal Humane organization. I can't remember the name of it. And I know that Applegate, if, for those of you who are concerned about these things like I am, I know that Applegate bacon is known for being an ethical producer of pork products. So that's kind of a strange message to suggest that somebody eats pork, but whatever fat it is in pork that you are in need of this week, Aquarius, or that is not doing your body good, take that as it resonates. You know that if you are feeling kind of low energy, you can benefit from more fat in your diet. If your skin is very dry, that's another case where you can benefit from a little bit more fat in your diet. And like I said, this is just for 1 week. It's coming up, and this is just for some of you. Now, there's another message from Boar which is coming through, which I don't always get with this animal. So this again may be just for one of you Aquarians, is to be strict with yourself about telling the truth, and especially to your own self. Sometimes we kid ourselves that things are better than they are, and sometimes through overthinking we can kid ourselves that things are a lot worse than they are. And this week it would be a good idea to perhaps some of you take a look at something in your life or some things in your life that you're not being truthful with yourself about. And, you know, it like I said, it could be either something that you're thinking is better than it is or that is worse than it is. But either way, you don't want to lie to yourself, Aquarius. You know, of all people in the world, we need to be truthful with ourselves, even though it may be a little bit painful at times to admit, you know, that, hey, this job isn't working out, this relationship isn't working out, this habit that I have isn't working out, you know, and cut those things out of your life, you know, come to the realization, you know, and be truthful with yourself. And then again, you know, like the tusks indicate, cut it out of your life. The belief, you know, the kidding yourself, the not being truthful with yourself, you know, not necessarily the relationship or the person or the situation or the habit, just more like the thought process, you know, of not being truthful with yourself. Just vow to see things how they are and admit that to yourself, and then move forward in whatever action you need to take. Now, the other message about not being truthful with ourselves has to do with making things worse than they are. And I think that a lot of Aquarians tend to lean that way. We overthink things and overanalyze things, and we turn them into like a bigger deal than they maybe have to be. So, you know, instead of being overly upset about something or overly pessimistic about something, and, you know, thinking things or one particular thing is the end of the world, try to be honest with yourself. And I think that most of us know when we're doing that. You know, we're being a little overly dramatic. I'm not, and like I said, this message isn't for every Aquarius, but you know, maybe just one of you, maybe you're being over dramatic about something, you know, maybe something is triggering you, you know, maybe something has happened to you in the past. And, you know, say you've been like in a relationship that was painful to you, where your partner lied to you a lot. Say, for instance, they lied to you a lot. So because that one person lied to you in a relationship, it doesn't mean that every relationship you're going to have is with a person who's going to lie with you. So you may get into a new relationship and a person may be less than candid with you, or maybe they'll say something that isn't quite true, so you jump to the conclusion that they're going to lie about everything and you don't want to have anything to do with them. So, you know, that it's probably not the best example of over dramatizing something, but Bohr is saying that don't let your past conceptions of your past experiences of things deceive you into thinking it's always going to be that way. That's the message that is coming through. It just sometimes takes me a while to get it. Yeah. And so don't let your past experiences form your opinion automatically of that always happening in that certain instance or relationship or whatever it is. You know, if you've had a bad experience or a failure in the past, don't assume that It's always going to be that way every time. And don't jump on like a little thing going wrong and assume the worst, okay? All right. That was kind of a long, long roundabout way of trying to get that out, but I apologize. Sometimes it takes me a while to channel the message and put it into words. I often get more of a feeling than an actual narrative. That's the way the animals communicate. They communicate in pictures and feelings more than, you know, the written word. Okay. All right, Aquarius. So those are your messages for this week. That's quite a lot. That's kind of complicated. So just take whatever out of those messages applies to you, that, you know, that speak to you, and go with that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here, Aquarius. I appreciate it. The animals appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.